we're at the Manufacturers Cup Spring Fling MTC Nationals out here in Adel, Georgia. Look, I'm glad to have you guys out here. You know, we out here with our first motorcycle drag racing event. Proud to be out here, man. It's a lot of work, a lot of new stuff. I usually be racing my bike, but I'm out here packing trophies today. But I'm gonna catch y'all later on when I get ready to pass this iron out. And I'm glad to have these photographers, videographers out here helping us, and can't wait to get it on, man. That's it. What's up, man? Cup Live. We back again, man, on Survival First Race. I'm so happy. You know, we're going to get ready for this Rumble in the Rock. And first of all, I'd like to tell you all that came and participated, thank you for your patronage of the Manufacturers Cup. We really appreciate your support. Not as bad as we thought it would be. We had a whole bunch of obstacles that we had to deal with, but we had to pivot a couple times to make some things work. And God willing, we got the event in as best we could before Mother Nature made us call. You know, I like to always think about, you know, the saying where they say serenity to accept the things that you cannot change, the courage to change the things, and the wisdom to know the difference. So with saying that, you know, it's just one of those deals, you know, when you have to deal with certain situations, you have to make a decision whether or not it's something that you can have any control over or not. And if you can, you have to have the courage to make a decision, but you also have to have the foresight to know if it's one or the other. You can't sit there and ponder on decisions and make them. You know, we was faced with a lot of adversities. Well, our first time out, trying to make sure the show went as smooth as possible. A lot of, you know, I got a lot of positive feedback. Got some feedback that I take, you know, to help us improve. That even the bad feedback is good. There's no bad feedback in my opinion. Everyone has an opinion to voice, and we take it wholeheartedly, and we want to improve to keep you coming back. With that said, you know, I like I said once again, I really appreciate all those that attended. You know, it was kind of a hasty situation trying to get everything wrapped up with a severe thunderstorm lurking over our head, and even to the point of getting everyone paid out. But we took care of that. There are a few people that I realized that did not pick up their checks. We'll get those in the mail to you, and a few of you all that probably did not even get the awards, if there were awards for your category, that probably didn't get those. We'll make sure that we have those at the upcoming Rockingham race. I'd like to send a special thanks out to our team. You know, you did a wonderful job of help pushing the event as good as we possibly can, you know, considering the circumstances that we were faced. You know, there are some things that we know that we're going to have to improve on. We already at the table looking at some things that we felt like were probably questionable to the series. You know, one of the things that I really was kind of questionable about even at the event was running the top sportsman class with the limited amount of ET bikes, period. It just, to me, it just wasn't enough product there, enough attendance. I'm sorry, enough attendance in the Pro ET class to really stand up on the top sportsman class. And just looking at the growth of the series, and you know, that product is not something that the Manufacturers Cup has ran in previous years. And you know, I spoke with the sponsor, Dustin Lee, Hard Times Parts and Service, about, you know, what we think we should do for right now. We both agree that putting the product on the shelf right now might be the best situation. So he's rolled the Hard Times Parts and Services sponsorship over to the Ultra Sportsman class. And for now, we're going to shelf the top sportsman until we can get the bike counts back up to a reasonable amount of motorcycles that really makes it, you know, makes sense for the program as a whole. You know, it's a good incentive to have it if there's a good amount of motorcycles. But when the bike counts are not as large, you know, at this time, then you're pretty much hot lapping, guys to get back and try to get back in line if they lose or so forth. And we just don't want to do that. We want the experience for all the racers to be pleasurable and comfortable, not, just a whole rush deal throughout the day. I mean, we were already rushed to try to finish an event with, with the rain coming in on us. But then to throw another couple of elements in there that made it even more of a rush is just not fair to the racers, and we don't want to do that. So effective immediately, we are going to shelf top Sportsman, and we're going to continue on with our standard classes, in which we've already had listed, and continue to do what we've done for so many years at the Manufacturers Cup. As it relates to some of the safety issues, we still catching some guys with some tennis shoes and these gloves that really aren't going to be safe for you guys. We really need you all to address those issues. We're looking, kind of giving some passes on some of the safety stuff, not in terms of, not a pass, but trying to give you an opportunity to right the safety wrongs, So, take heed of what the safety officials, the tech officials giving you the information on. Try to make the improvements prior to coming to Rockingham, because ultimately, we want to make sure everyone's safe. We want to make sure that, if there was an issue, that we did everything in our power to make sure that you were safe as you were going down the racetrack. Want to also, send our blessing, our prayers out to Mr. Egan, who had an incident at the track this weekend. Hope he's doing well at home. We send our prayers out to you. My man Kenny Hill had a pretty big fire on his pro open bike. Hope that he's okay as well. And, just hope that these guys, there was a couple engines that blew, diapers caught the whole, the containment system worked perfectly with catching all the oil. And the only other thing that I noticed that was really, that really needs to be addressed immediately, and it's not a big thing, for all the bikes that don't have lights. If you're gonna run these motorcycles in the nighttime, they're gonna have to have the lights in the rear. It's an extremely high priority to have that done. That's just like one of the things for the next race that I really want you all to concentrate on, is if you don't have a light on the back of your bike somewhere, when we're running at night, that's giving us a really bad issue to deal with, and it needs to be addressed immediately, because we can't see you turning off one, and if you were to go down, no one would be able to tell, and those split seconds, they really count, they matter. So please try to take care of that, before the next race at Rockingham, the Rumble at the Rock. And I also like to thank the fans, the new fans that came out this weekend. We had the young men rise and bring some young men out to the racetrack for their first time. Had a lot of spectators. We had quite a bit of spectators that never been to drag racing this weekend that showed up at Valdosta. We really appreciate you coming out, supporting us. Got a chance to see a whole bunch of my old racing buddies. Some of them talking about getting back in the game since they have been out there lately. So these are all positive things for our series. I look forward to it. And, like I said, just let's take care of the business that makes it safe for us. And, that'll help move the program along even further. We're going to go take care of a couple bills, and we're going to get right back to it. All right. All right, all right. Good little reel over there by Trick Tools. Y'all know if y'all need those trick starters and so forth, you gotta get in touch with my man Bruce Van Sant up at Trick Tools. He have those good starters for you. And also, I'd like to thank all of our sponsors that came out on Vendor Road, the Vendor Midway, and did a really good job of taking care of the races and so forth. And also, I'd like to thank the sponsors that did not get a chance to come for also looking out for us. all the time. I know some of you did not have an opportunity to make this trip. Hope to see you all in Rockingham as well. Would like to also talk a little bit about our Pro Stock Limited class. We had an opportunity to get to see Mr. Baber make a run this weekend almost, but we got some rain showers right at the same time he was about to go out. So we're looking forward to that class growing because there are more people that are already building those motorcycles. So this should be a very interesting class for our series. It'd be one of the only of its kind so far in the series other than the NHRA Pro Stock. So it's going to be interesting to see that class take off. So if you got that old Pro Stock at home and you got the engines and so forth, go ahead and get that stuff down to one of these engine builders, let them freshen it up and come on out here and play with us. We actually had a pretty decent pro mod field. I appreciate you guys for coming out. I know it's a short notice, and I know that you had a quick turnaround rather because you have another race coming up soon. But we really appreciate you coming out and participating with us. Had some people come from up in Canada. Quite a few Canadians came down to race this weekend, so we really appreciate y'all crossing the border to come out and have some fun with us as well. And other than that, I like to say, congratulations again to the 2022 champions. All of y'all had, got awarded, nice trophies for your accomplishments in 2022. And now that mark is out there set, that you can do it all over again and get your 2023 championship. We honored the gold card for these racers that actually won last year. They had free entry in the classes that they were champions in, plus one entry. So those are incentives that Man Cup's trying to offer. And, we look forward to getting that participation up and running these shows just as smooth as we were running prior to having a few issues. I think that we were on target to probably be finished 2.5 hours earlier than what we had, but we had to rerun a class twice. And, I really want to apologize to those guys and girls or whoever in that class because ultimately it wasn't none of our fault. It just happens sometimes. And instead of trying to make a hasty decision, you have to make a decision that's fair, and the only fair thing to do when you see that there are issues are just to really go back and give both of those participants a chance to make it right on the racetrack. It's not something that we can do in the pits by deciding who's going to win or lose based on conversation. I probably lose that one every time, but trying to get it done right way, and ultimately, it took a couple times, unfortunately, to get it right, but neither here or there. We had to move on. I'm looking forward to this Rockingham race. A lot of the other riders that did not get a chance to make it, they were really excited about what they seen at the Spring Fling, and now they're in the MTC National Spring Fling that they're really looking forward to Rockingham. A lot of the 460 guys, a lot of the other pro classes and street bike classes and so forth. I also like to throw a little shout out to Miss Tracy Robinson Bud Light Lime. She got some grudge folks up in there, and they had a really good time. Got some track time. The schedule was a little unorthodox, especially because we did not get as much testing tuned in due to a track that needed to be prepped, after a rain. And then we wanted to run in qualifying. So in order to give people their money's worth, we just basically open Friday night up after qualifying. So don't get used to that with me though, because the way I look at qualifying is once you qualify in a classes, I don't feel that we're going to be doing. I know that we won't be doing testing and tune after qualifying start. That's just not like how I really want the program. I've never raced anywhere where we did that too much. We've done it, a couple of times at some tracks, getting that morning shakedown. But I'm a pro racer, and I feel like when you get to this level of racing, you really need to just be prepared to race. Once you've gotten those qualifying shots off, those time trial runs in, it's elimination time. So we have a few other things that we're really trying to look at to see what we can do to keep the program running efficiently and also at the level of a professional event. There's a lot of things that we do at this level that doesn't really match what you do if you go to a bracket finals. It's a big bracket finals at an NHRA event and so forth. So we want to emulate that as close as possible to get racers at that level. We're trying to increase your hand, to make you the best out here. And so a lot of the little things that we do, we're going to start taking a look at those things and really putting it in perspective, as it relates to growing our series. But we'll take another break right quick, and I'm going to go ahead and let y'all get out of here quick this day tonight. We don't have no guests tonight. Just want to do a quick race recap. And also, I'll throw a shout out to these winners that did get done. And I'll be right back after we pay a few bills. All right, all right, all right. We got a whole little rundown here. I like to start off with the Ultra Sportsman winner, Landon Noble. Congratulations. We had your runner up, Big Stan, over there in the Ultra Sportsman class. Would like to send a shout out, congratulations to Kenny Hill, winner of Pro Open, and runner up, well, Mr. Saxon over there, and he did a good job. Both of these guys did a good job. Unfortunately, Kenny bike had caught on fire at the end, down at the top end down there, and did a pretty good amount of damage. I also like to throw a shout out to the winners of Pro Ultra 460, Chad Ott, and runner-up Spencer Allen. Pro Mod, we got the winner Jeff House, runner-up Terry Wynn. Number one qualifier in that class was Blake Harvey. He had a little issue second round. I don't know if it was a mechanical or whatever, but the bike went through on him and just didn't have a good opportunity right there. And we also had we still need to figure out on this top sportsman. We had in the final Brody Davis, and we had Sean Rainey in the final there. They I don't know what's going on there. The money got the number one. The computer said Brody won, but we still got to go back and check some things. I'm gonna look at that later on. But most of the other classes, from Super Comp, Street ET, and Top Gas, we had to split it. Pro ET, we had to split those classes simply because the weather caught us. Had a few other rounds left there. And other than that, man, it was a heck of a weekend. Let me just double check, make sure I have everything. I announced all the people in the classes. Yeah, I took care of everything. And also, we like to congratulate Rudy and Pro Street for winning there. Sydney Marshall actually was the number one qualifier of that class. But congratulations, Rudy. He had to get on up out of there. I heard he might have a little baby coming on. So hopefully all that's going good for you and your family. And like I said, I look forward to seeing you all again at our next event, the Rumble at the Rock. We're going to have those videographers and photographers back on site. They were able to capture some good images, as you've seen. Some of those are just a few of them that we got this weekend. I hope that you enjoyed the live stream that we had at tv.hollywooddragracing.com. We're going to continue to do that at every event. Also, we'll get the announcing part teed on in a little bit with it as well. We just were so busy, going through the first, event. And there were a couple bugs and a couple things that we need to really work on, which we're going to work on. We know anyone who knows me know that we're not going to sit back and allow it to get any worse, or we're not going to let it, be built and properly orchestrated. There's just things that there's growing pains. You got to get out there to know what you're up against. And now, being this is our first event, I took a lot of notes. I got a lot of information that I need to digest and, put some checklists together. But at the end of the day, we got through it. And I'm really proud of the racers. I'm really proud of our staff, like I said before. And, like I said, we're going to be back. And I see y'all at the Rumble of the Rock, man. I love y'all again. I'm going to be out of here a little early tonight. Peace.